Well, the greatest train that ever run down America's railroad track was the Orange Blossom Special, bringing my baby back. From New York to Miami, you could see them drivers roll, but the Orange Blossom Special don't stop Waldo anymore.
Hey everybody, it's Lydia, the TallyStitcher here, back for a probably short Flosstube video update. I believe this is Flosstube number 14. Actually done about 2 weeks after the other one, trying to get back on that schedule. If you're new here, welcome. And then if you are coming back for all this fun, welcome back. This is a cross-stitch mostly channel. I have other arts and crafts that I do, but I don't tend to show them off. My husband's also a cross-stitcher, crafter, knitter. So sometimes I show his work, and I'll bring that on board. Today though, it's just me showing some of my progress and a new design that I did. It's another freebie for the spooky, stitchy season coming up, and then a lot of talk about plans. I am planning on getting back to using a more robust video editor so that I can add in titles and stuff for those of us who watch YouTube primarily not on a computer. So you don't always have to go back and find the show notes on your computer. You'll be able to see some of the stuff on your TV, which is something I've been wanting to do and just haven't had the time to do. But now that I'm kind of getting into a rhythm with the new apartment, the new job, new everything, I'd like to do that to up the Flosstube game. I'm still working on the best area of filming the lighting. So last time I did it like at night, so the lighting was not great. And now I'm by a window. It's been it's not raining yet, but it's very humid, so the windows are kind of covered in condensation. Shout out to all my other Florida stitchers where it's always hot and humid. It's also what's going on with my hair. And also I've been cleaning all morning. This is Saturday, Saturday, August 28th, 2021. And I've actually got a business trip coming up, so I'm trying to like furiously clean before I go on that, because then my mom's coming up to visit and we need a place for her to actually stay in our new place, like a place for the air mattress to live. So that's been the thing going on. I also had to move a bunch of stuff this morning because we had a new fridge delivered to us. That was an adventure. Yeah, so some whips. I don't have any new starts. Well, I'll tell you about one, but I didn't bring it home. And then if you hear strange noises in the background, those are my cats running around, getting into anything and everything. So let's get started. Last week I showed you guys progress on the two things I've been kind of working on because they're most accessible currently. The first one is Teresa Kogut released a free pattern called Kindness is Free. It was a download. You can get it from her blog. A lot of the free stitchy like Facebook groups were kind of passing it around. You can go to her Instagram and scroll down to find the post where she tells you how to download it. And I'll have her name in the show notes as well as hopefully across the bottom here or here. I'm not sure where it's going to be, but we'll have the info there. So this is called Kindness is Free. I'm stitching this to put in my new office or my new cubicle. Let's make that a little more presentable right there. I have already done floss conversions for the bird and for the dress. And so I got Kindness written up here. And I think last time, I don't think I even had a bird. So for her dress, Teresa kind of designed this two-toned, almost like a brocade, and it's gorgeous. And I swapped out one of the threads for a variegated DMC, which I will note exactly which one I switched out, because this used to be like two different teals that kind of flip-flopped. So I switched that up. This pattern is deceivingly tricky to do without kind of following the pattern. So when I don't feel up to swapping and highlighting, I work on like the bird or something else here. So for the bird, she had charted like a light brown for the body, and then this kind of onyx charcoal for the wing. And I had thought about doing a cardinal, and we've ended up with this thing. I used another variegated DMC for the body, and then I didn't think the browns would go with this kind of onyx color, so I swapped it for a darker red that I pilfered from my Annie Pfeiffer chapel bag. So I'll list that too, in case you're wondering. And then I just did one of the little sparkles that's in the pattern, and there's a couple other almost like Quaker motifs that'll go in there. And then in her original pattern, there's a dog and a cat. I'll switch them out for two cats. Yeah, so I've been having fun with this. It's kind of cute. I'm not sure if I'm going to take this on my trip to work on, or if I'm going to take what my current office project is, which is a Dimensions Gold Petite, and it's a peacock that one of my former coworkers gave to me when I left to take this job. So I put maybe half a strand in that one. So there's not much to show. I didn't even take a picture when I started it. Didn't even share it on Instagram. But so this one's The Kindness is Free by Teresa Kogut. It's really cute. Is there anything else I want to say about that one? I haven't put her eyes in, so she looks kind of creepy. And then, yeah. So, she'll be cute to put up in the cubicle. And I'll probably bring in other stuff as I work on it. Like I might display the 3 Sanderson Sisters cross stitches that I did back in May, June, whenever I did them. I might take them up and hang them in my cubicle as well. So, that was that. Pardon my reach. I'm on the dining room table. And the next things, I put a little bit more effort into this Dimensions kit, Ling, which is designed by Wendy Schuster. This is one that I got secondhand, and I've swapped out the original linen for a fiddler's cloth. Still give a rustic effect, but it's easier for me to stitch on it. And what I worked on here is finishing, kind of going down. This is the front of the kimono where it kind of opens, and or like almost like the lining. So I worked on this all the way down, and there's a little bit more here and here. I wanted to see how far her dress was going compared to the bottom of my Q-snap. And then I put in some chunks of this yellow. So the bulk of the kimono robe here is this yellow, which is a mixture of pale yellow and regular yellow, and it's a lot of, so I try to put that in there. And then there's more of these flowers all down in here, and so working on that. I'll probably keep working on this until I switch to the planned September start that we have coming up, and I'll probably start getting into this kind of witchy, Halloweeny, spooky season stitching in full rotation, because, whoo boy, I am planning on a lot of starts. Fewer than I was going to do, but a lot, because, who are we if not starters? Pardon all these like little my parked threads. I usually pull them out, but I was like, oh, I just noticed those. So yeah, so that's mailing. Now, one of the reasons I didn't get a lot of stitching done this week is I did some designing. So for the first time in a couple months, and I was inspired by all of these like stitchy, Halloweeny kind of things coming out. I thought originally about doing 13 new starts in October, which who knows? I may still end up doing 13 new starts, but I have some definite ones that I've already purchased the patterns and have ordered the supplies. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe I could do something. And I don't know exactly why this popped up in my head. I haven't watched this movie in a long time, but I really liked it growing up. And it makes me laugh because it kind of fits my designing theme. So if you're new here, I do design cross-stitch patterns, and they are usually Florida historic architecture. So if you go to my Etsy shop, which is TallyStitcher's Designs, you will see a few of these historic architecture pieces that are found throughout the state of Florida that I've done. And there's one other piece up there that's a historic architecture piece from Georgia that just released in my shop earlier this month. So this kind of fits in that because this movie, which is Edward Scissorhands, was filmed mostly in Lutz, Florida, which is a little no-place town. And Tim Burton picked it because the neighborhood was pretty new, but still like suburban enough that it reminded him of where he grew up in like suburban California, where everything was very cookie cutter. And he had them paint all the houses only in like 4 colors of pastels. And then if you haven't seen the movie, Johnny Depp's character is kind of an invention, kind of an android, but maybe not super, maybe more Frankenstein feeling. Anyway, and he has scissors for hands because his inventor daddy died before he could finish him. So that's the whole thing, is he has scissors for hands. And he lives on the top of a hill in a spooky old castle mansion thing. And that is what I decided to design, because not only do we have the castle bit, which is fun, he also in the movie cuts topiary, very fun topiary, and I wanted to chart that. So this is a super simple little chart. I think it's less than 100 by 100 stitches, and I will have the link to download this down below, and it's across like all of my social media. But this is what we got. We have got the castle on the hill. So it is kind of this gothic, dilapidated mansion on top of a hill. And when we first see it, an Avon lady is calling, and she goes through the garden, and the garden is full of these topiary and flowers. It's overgrown, but like it's still beautiful, versus the inside of the castle, which is super dark and dingy and falling apart. But some of the iconic topiary are the dinosaur, this big deer, the big hand, and then like the Loch Ness monster. There were other ones like dancing girls and dolphins and all sorts of things. But those are my favorite ones. So I charted the house in a couple different grays and 310. So that should be, stitch along pretty quickly. This picture is a slightly older version. I also added in some vines at the suggestion of one of my Instagram followers, who I think her name is West Coast Stitcher. I'll have to look up her name and I'll give her a little shout out. Sorry, my cat is trying to come join the video. Sir. Okay. Hi, Giuseppe. Say hello to everybody. Okay. Alrighty. So yeah, so this is free. The blue is just to show what I'm going to stitch it on. It doesn't have the blue charted. It's just a handful of colors. It's 413, 414, and like 415 in the grays for the house, and then 310 for some outlining. The topiaries are in 2 different greens, and then the trees in a brown, and then the pathway is in like a tan. So should stitch up pretty quickly, should have a little fun. Feel free to tweak it as you like. Tag me in it. Tag it as TallyStitcher Designs if you're working on it. I will start working on it once I prepare my fabric. We are going to try dyeing our own fabric for a couple upcoming projects. So I've already got my just like 16 count white Aida. And all I'm going to try to do is dye it a really, really light blue. That's it. My husband's going to be trying to do some ice dyeing here pretty soon. Although, of course, we just lost our ice maker for a couple days, so that's kind of fun. Yeah, we had a new fridge delivered because our old fridge had like one broken bar on the door, which I thought they were going to just leave because we're renters and, you know, why would they fix that? But then I got a call from Lowe's that we were going to get a new fridge, and I was like, okay. So they brought the fridge, but they didn't have an ice maker in stock, so they have to bring that like next week. And the Lowe's guys, they definitely like took my apartment door off the hinges to get the old fridge out. So that was fun and loud. But it's fine. So all the food's back in the new fridge, which unfortunately I think is slightly smaller than the old one. So yes, it's newer, but it's a little smaller, and they're going to bring us an ice maker, but we lost the cheese drawer. We had finally glowed up and finally had a cheese drawer again, and now it's gone. But c'est la vie. We now at least have like a fully functional door, like tray things. The life of renting, it's fun. So yes. So free chart. We saw some whips. And I have a lot of stitchy plans. So I am going to take the time to put like the picture. I hope I had to put it here because that's the only place I can put it. Put the picture here of the different charts that I've just purchased that I've got supplies coming for. I've previously mentioned how I have the Cricut Collection's Sleepy Hollow, and I was waiting for the fabric, which I ordered at the beginning of August. But I've just found out that the shop, I think they all got COVID, so the production's down. So if that piece of fabric doesn't arrive, you know, in time to start anything, that's okay. Like, like I understand. I was taking a risk ordering, you know, hand-dyed fabric anyway. But, so I may not be able to start that in October if it's not here by October, but hey, it might be here by October. We've got all of September and October for them to catch up and hopefully, you know, be well, rest up. It is what it is. What I ended up doing for the other ones is just ordering fabric from like Everything Cross Stitch, as well as all the floss for the most part. So that should be here when it gets here. And so I've got several coming from different shops, and of course I didn't write them down in front of me because that'd be helpful. But I've got the spell book from Hocus Pocus called Book that I'll be starting on a toffee Aida that I also purchased secondhand. I'm excited for that to come. I don't think it's here yet. But the toffee I think it's going to be a very lovely orange, and it'll be great for that one. So I'm doing the version of the book with the black flame candle. The designer, whose name I'll put like down here or all around here. The designer has two options. You can stitch it with the candle or without the candle. I think two birds, one stone with the candle when it comes to Hocus Pocus stuff. So that'll be one. Another one is, it's called Moths and Bugs, and it's by, starts with a P, Punochka, or I think something like that. And that's very lovely, and it's a little bit spooky because it's like bugs and stuff, but it's also just like a beautiful like piece of, not like a botanical print, but almost like when you pin the specimens. That's what I think about it. And I guess I'm going into a bug phase because Stitchin' Mommy, she just posted her temperature chart for next year, because she designs temperature charts. I'll also put her name, so that way I get everything accurate on these. Hers is next year's butterflies, and I was like, oh my god, yes. So I'll probably be doing a temperature chart, though of course in Florida, they're just going to be just like red, all of them, just red the whole year. Actually, I've never done a temperature chart once. I'm interested in trying that and seeing how that works, like how you pick the floss and determine what to stitch. So going to be a bunch of bugs happening. I also had seen a dimensions kit that I hadn't seen before called the Finery of Nature that I might hunt down, that also had some butterflies and stuff. So I guess I'm going into like a bug and butterfly place. So, but the moths and butterflies will be a October start, and I'm doing it on like the black Ada for that because I think it looks great. I'm also doing another Etsy designer, like Mama Stitches Witches, and she has a ton of super cute patterns, and I've been hemming and hawing about which one I wanted, and then she just uploaded this one, which is called Halloween Mode On, and it is so cute, and I am in love. So ordered the stuff for that one. Also going to do that on Black Ada. I have always loved Halloween, loved fall and winter, and I'm all about it. Like, I get rejuvenated in the fall and winter. I am a delicate flower. It's too hot, and I wilt when it's too hot and I'm sweaty, and I just have no energy to do anything, no motivation, only want to sleep. So we're about to get into like what the youth call it, the pumpkin spice season. So that's one as well. And then I think there's another one. Oh, I'm also doing this is by GoodMorningMaui. I actually remember this one. And it's a version of the stretching portraits from the Haunted Mansion, which is my favorite Disney ride. I grew up, very close to Disney. I worked there in high school, and the Haunted Mansion is my favorite ride because back in the day, there used to be another dark ride called Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and that was my favorite ride, but they decommissioned it and put in the Toy Story ride. So Haunted Mansion, strong, that is my favorite, and I was torn between so many different patterns to choose to do this one. Like, there's the house, which I will do one day. I don't think I'm doing it this year. The house itself. There's Madame Leola, the clairvoyant. There's several charts of her that are amazing. There's other ones of the stretching portraits that are more realistic, but I wanted something kind of quirky and cute and fun and quick. And I believe GoodMorningMaui also has kind of the character charts that are really popular, like how I did the Sanderson sisters, where they're kind of small little cartoonies. They've got that, all the different ghosts, the 99 haunts of the Haunted Mansion. So I'm going to start with the stretching portraits, and I am doing that on a gray of some, I don't know if I got Icelandic gray or graceful gray, some sort of neutral gray, to do those guys and gals on. So it's another definite start. And I think that's it for definite starts. I had a bunch on my list, an absurd amount. I had, 13. But I wasn't in love with all of them. So kept paring it back. So I'm trying to only start things that I absolutely love. Not just to start something small so I can get a quick finish and get the dopamine hit for that. No, I really want to, if I keep thinking about doing those, I will get them eventually. But for now, I'll start these new ones in October, maybe even in September. I'm not sure as we go into it. So once the supplies arrive, I'll go through, kit everything separately and decide the kind of order of which to start things. I guess as soon as I get the fabric dyed for my Castle on the Hill, I can start that, because why not? We need a model, right? And I have one other possible thing that I'll be doing. I purchased this fabric. I've been waiting for it to come back in stock. And it is called Haunted Mansion, but I'm not using it for the stretching portraits. I'm using it for another thing that I might try to design, which is another one of my favorite Disney movies, characters, bits. And it is from, so Fantasia, the original 1940 Fantasia, is one of my favorite Disney movies. And at the very end, Night on Bald Mountain is like my jam. So I'm going to attempt to chart just for myself Chernabog. That is the name of the character being depicted in the Disney version, and the way they've kind of used him in modern days is he gets cast with the villains because the imagery is kind of spooky and he's a little demonic according to Western standards, and you know, he's up to, you know, he's being big and spooky. But originally, Chernabog is a Slavic god of the night. He doesn't have any like morality to him. That's what he is. So I've always loved him, and I want to try charting for myself him on the Haunted Mansion fabric, because I think that's going to give that kind of very moody feel. If I can manage to chart some of the little ghosties that he's summoning well, I'm going to do that, and I think it's all going to work out. But I'm only doing that for myself because, and I'll show progress if I get it charted, but I'm not trying to work with licensing or anything like that. So personal use only, and I'll just show updates here and there if I can get something kind of worked up. If I don't love it, because I'm not 100% on charting figurines or figures yet. I think I need maybe more of a tablet setup with a stylus and maybe some more robust designing software. Maybe I could move into that realm. I'm looking at it because I do have some other stuff coming in the mail where I want to design some figures for rather than architecture. So I'll be looking into that. And if you have any suggestions on the tips of the trade, like I think about how, you know, Nora Corbett, I've seen her original watercolors, and then either she charts them or they are charted, and I imagine she doesn't hand by hand chart them anymore, if they can be popped into an editor and kind of, you know, color corrected. But I'll look into that. That's a lot going on. So we're at a cute little 27 minutes, cute little episode. So look forward to seeing some fabric dyed for Castle on the Hill, so I can get started on that. Look out for pretty much a haul video when that stuff comes. I have a couple other things in the mail, like I said, that are coming. So yeah. If you are stitching Halloween-y type stuff, show me your favorite little pattern you're working on. I have been scouring sounds like I can't find it. I have found plenty of Halloween and stitchy inspiration on Flosstube. I sat there one night and just like binged everybody's like fall and Halloween whip parades, and I was like, oh my god, look at all these things. So yeah, we will always have enough projects, right? And yeah, so I hope you're having a happy week. Have a happy Labor Day next week, a long weekend. Hope you're staying safe and healthy. And yeah, if you're in the path of this upcoming Ida, please seek shelter. As a Floridian, you know, we sometimes pshaw at hurricanes, even though we shouldn't. So we've had another busy hurricane season busy thunderstorm season all over. Last night we had a huge thunderstorm, and I was very surprised that the power didn't go out. Because the power did go out last week when the tropical storm remains of Fred hit us. So yeah, so have fun stitching this week. Have a good week. You can check out progress of mine on Instagram. I update there pretty often. That's Lydia E. Malone at Instagram. If you hashtag search for TallyStitcher, I usually pop up. My husband is Metal X Stitch on Instagram if you want to catch his progress updates. I'll get some of his stuff ready to show in the next Flosstube, which should be 2 weeks from now if we're keeping up on the schedule. So, all right, y'all have a good one, and I'll see you around. Bye now.
Well, just another bowl of butterbean or pan.